One Day by Helen Naylor. Introduction. Moorland Road is a street in the city of Bath, England. One Friday evening in March at 6 o'clock, people were coming home from work as usual. The school children were already at home. A woman's voice was coming from number 12. "Jason, are you doing your homework? You've got to do it before you go out to see Maria tonight." But there was no answer. Jason was listening to music and couldn't hear his mum. At number 48, David Sen wasn't home yet, but his wife was. 32-year-old Nina Sen was tired after a long week of work at the bank. She had some news for her husband, but she wasn't sure how to tell him. Across the street was number 75. Maggie was in the living room, sitting on the sofa. She was thinking about something. It was a nice something, because she had a smile on her face. And then there was Sam Davies from number 56. He was walking slowly home, looking a bit worried. Actually, he always looked worried. Money was his problem. He never had enough for everything. How was he going to tell his wife that they couldn't have a holiday this year? So, just another ordinary Friday. Chapter 1. Jason's Future. "Jason, did you hear me? Are you working?" Jason's mum heard nothing from his room. She decided to go and see what was happening. She stood outside the door of his bedroom for a minute, and then she walked in. Jason was sitting on the floor and looking at some photos. "What are you doing, Jason?" she asked. Jason turned off his music and looked up. "Do you remember this?" He gave her a photo. "It's me when I was 5, and Maria. She was really pretty. Well, she still is. It was my birthday party, wasn't it?" "Yes, I think so," his mum said. "It was the last birthday before Dad left," Jason said. "I remember it very well." "The party, or the day Dad left?" asked his mum. "Both," said Jason. "In my mind, they both happened on the same day." "They didn't, but it all happened a long time ago," his mum replied. She walked to the window, so Jason couldn't see her face. Simon, her husband, left their house in Moorland Road early one morning 12 years ago. He wrote her a letter and put it on the kitchen table. And then he left. For 12 years she didn't hear from him. No letters. No birthday cards for Jason. Then, last week, there was a phone call. "Why did you go?" she asked Simon again and again. He wanted to meet her. "No," she said, but she wanted to say yes. Jason's mum turned away from the window. "Jason, what about your homework?" she said. "Why are you looking at old photos?" "I want to find all the ones I've got of Maria. I want to take them with me to London, you know, when I go to art school." He smiled at a funny photo of Maria, aged 11. "It's a bit early to think about all that, Jason," his mum said. You're not going until the autumn, and you don't know if you're going to get a place at the art school. I will. I'm sure I will. When I went to visit them 2 weeks ago, they said, "We think your work's very good. We really like your ideas." I know, but... Anyway, where are you going with Maria tonight? Asked his mum. Broad Street Bar. There's a great reggae band on, said Jason. Have you told her about going away to art school in September? Asked his mum. Yeah, she's fine about it, I think, he replied. I can come home at the weekends. You won't... His mother began, and then stopped. I know what you're thinking, said Jason. But we're different. We'll always be together. His mother left the room and went downstairs. Maybe Jason and Maria are different, she thought. They've known each other since they started primary school. But I thought Simon and I were different, and look what happened. Mum, Jason came into the kitchen. I'm going round to Maria's now. I'll have something to eat at her house, OK? Have you finished your work? Asked his mum. Yes, stop asking me. See you later, about 12, OK? And Jason left the house before his mum had time to say anything else. 5 minutes later, the phone rang. Jason's mum jumped out of her chair, looked at the phone and thought, Simon. She answered it. Hello, she said in a very quiet voice. Oh, hi, Mrs. Campbell. Is Jason there? Maria! Jason's mum almost shouted her name. No, sorry, he's left. He's on his way to your house. Oh, no, said Maria. Is there a problem? Jason's mum asked. No, yes. I can't go out with him tonight, but it's OK. I'll tell him when he arrives here, answered Maria. Bye. Jason's mum sat down. She drank a little red wine. She thought about the phone call from Maria. She thought that Maria's voice was a bit strange. She hoped nothing was wrong. Chapter 2. Nina's new job. Nina Sen's work at the bank was over for the week. She was at home at 48 Moorland Road with her 6-year-old son, Max. He was eating sausages and chips. I got 100% in maths today, he said. Did you? That's great, Nina answered. You're good with numbers, just like me. Is Dad at work? Asked Max. Yes, but he'll be home soon. He's got the evening off, Nina replied. David Sen worked as the top cook at Julie's, an expensive French restaurant. He worked long hours, and very often he didn't get home until late. Oh, good. Mum, can my friend Adam come to football with us tomorrow? Asked Max. Of course he can. Do you want to watch a bit of TV after dinner? Nina wanted some time to think before David came home. But she didn't get much time, because 10 minutes later, she heard David come in. Hi, Nina. David kissed her. Where's Max? Watching TV, said Nina. How was the restaurant today? Good. You know Dan? Asked David. The new assistant in the kitchen. Well, One of my cooks was ill today, so Dan did some cooking. And he was great. He has a French grandmother, and he can remember some of the food she made. So he's got lots of ideas for the new menu. "Daddy! Daddy!" Max shouted, running into the room. "Hello, Tiger," said David. "Let's go and read a story, and then you can tell me all about your day." Father and son left the kitchen. Nina could hear Max's excited voice. He was really happy to see his father. "I'm lucky," thought Nina. "Why do I want to change things?" She cooked dinner for herself and David. "Are you ready to eat?" asked Nina when David came back to the kitchen. "There's something I want to talk to you about." I'm not sure I like the sound of that. Is it something important?" he asked. "The director from head office came to the bank today. He told me I was the manager of the month," Nina said. "Well done! Does that mean you'll get more money?" David laughed. "In a way, yes. He asked me to be the manager in Newcastle. That's a really big bank, about 5 times the size of the one here." Nina stopped and looked at David's face. "So yes, more money." "Ah," was David's only answer. Then a few seconds later, "And what did you say?" "I said I was interested," Nina answered. "I also said I wanted to talk to you. What do you think?" "First thought," said David, who stood up to get a glass of water. "Well done you. You work hard, and I'm pleased for you. Second thought, what about my job? Third thought, Newcastle is so far away from here." "I thought all that too," said Nina. She went across the kitchen and stood with her arms around David. "And what about Max? He loves his school and his friends. And there's my mum and dad to think about," continued David. "I know they live in Exeter, but it's only 100 kilometres from Bath, and we see them quite often." "They could come with us. I'm sure they'll be happy in Newcastle. Your mum was born near there, wasn't she?" Nina was trying to think of some more good reasons. She really wanted this new job. "Yes, but they have all their friends around them now, and they love living in Exeter," David answered. "It's a big thing to move at their age." "Forget them for a minute. What about you?" asked Nina. "Well, you know I love working at Julie's," David replied. "We've got a good name since that newspaper wrote about us. It's an exciting time, and I don't really want to leave. Of course, I'm sorry the restaurant isn't mine, but we haven't got the money to buy it, so—" "I really want to say yes, David," Nina said. "I think this is just the beginning. Maybe I could become manager for a big area in a few years, and after that, well, who knows? Then we could buy 2 restaurants and—" "Slow down," said David with a smile. "We haven't decided yet. When does the job start?" "In 3 months," replied Nina. "David, we're still young. It could be exciting to start again in a new city." "True," replied David slowly. "When do you have to give the bank an answer?" "Well, they want me to decide by the beginning of next week. Nina said. Say yes, then, said David quickly. What? Nina looked at David. She couldn't believe it. Well, we can't buy Julie's. That's what I'd really like, David answered. But I can get another job in a good restaurant in Newcastle. And your work is important. I know you love it. Oh, David, you're wonderful. I'm so pleased I married you. Nina laughed. I'm going to write to head office and tell them before you change your mind. David pulled Nina close and kissed her. I hope we've done the right thing, he said. Anyway, now I'm going to have a long, hot bath and think about it. And then I must phone Mum and Dad. I haven't spoken to them all week. Don't tell them yet about Newcastle, said Nina. Let's keep it to ourselves for the weekend. Nina sat at the table and wrote. Then she walked down Moorland Road with her letter and put it in the postbox on the corner. She heard a soft plop sound as it fell onto the other letters in the box. We've decided what to do, and nothing can change that now, she thought.